It is truly hard to believe, but what you are looking at is a fully nutritious meat soup. This is a remarkable food source that requires no refrigerator and no freezer, yet it boasts a shelf life of over 2 years. The beauty of this recipe lies in its simplicity, requiring just two primary ingredients: beef and onion. That is absolutely it. This is a forgotten recipe dating back to the 1930s, representing the exact method that American families utilized to survive the Great Depression. During that era, store shelves were frequently empty and money had all but disappeared. Today, I'm going to show you the full technology behind this process, guiding you step by step through every detail. And at the very end, I will reveal one specific secret that ensures this preparation lasts for 2 years instead of just 2 weeks. I am beginning the process with a hot pan. Into this pan, I am adding a generous knob of butter, letting it melt down. I am also dropping in a few whole garlic cloves directly into that melting butter. As the heat increases, the garlic begins to release its natural oils into the hot fat. This creates an aromatic base that will eventually be absorbed directly into the meat, enhancing the flavor profile from the very start. Now let's talk about the meat. I am using beef shank, approximately 1.5 pounds in weight. Beef shank is known as one of the toughest and cheapest cuts you can find at any butcher shop. However, there is something that Depression-era families understood deeply. Cheap does not necessarily mean bad. Beef shank is heavily loaded with collagen, which is the connective tissue responsible for holding the muscle together. When you apply consistent heat over a long period, that collagen undergoes a transformation, converting into natural gelatin. This gelatin is the critical component of our recipe. It is exactly what makes our dried concentrate hold together, allowing it to stay dense and survive for years without any form of refrigeration. While the meat is being prepared, I am taking a large amount of onions. I am peeling them but keeping them entirely whole. I then drop them into boiling water to cook for 25 minutes. There is a specific reason for boiling the onions whole. It allows them to release their natural sugars slowly and evenly throughout the process. The result of this method is a smooth, sweet, and deep flavor base that no quick-fried onion could ever hope to produce. About halfway through the boiling process, I am adding a small amount of carrot to the pot. I am only using a little bit, not to add bulk to the recipe, but to contribute sweetness, a vibrant color, and essential beta-carotene. Now 15 minutes have passed for the meat. Look at that color. We have achieved a dark crust on the outside while keeping the inside perfectly juicy. That is exactly the result we needed for this concentrate. I am now cutting the beef shank into small, even cubes, each measuring about half an inch. As I cut, you will notice fatty layers situated between the muscle fibers. It is vital that you do not trim these away. That fat is essential fuel. It carries necessary calories, holds the deep flavors of the dish, and helps to bind the dry concentrate together so it doesn't crumble later on. The onions and carrots are now finished. They are soft, fragrant, and completely loaded with flavor. You might wonder why we are going to blend them. We blend because we are creating a concentrate, not a traditional stew. Our goal is to achieve maximum flavor with minimum volume. When you blend the onion into a smooth paste, you effectively break down every single cell wall. This ensures that every bit of flavor and nutrition is now available to bond perfectly with the meat. Now I am adding the beef cubes into the mixture and blending everything together. I want to emphasize that the more consistent the mixture is, the more evenly it will dry. If you have uneven chunks, they will dry at different rates. Some parts might over-dry and become brittle, while other parts stay moist. Moisture is the enemy here, because moisture is where bacteria lives and thrives. A smooth, even paste ensures that the entire batch dries completely and consistently. This consistency is the secret to achieving that 2-year shelf life. The final texture should be thick and dense, resembling a paste that can easily hold its shape. Next, I am taking a sheet of parchment paper. I am spreading the mixture across it in a thin, even layer, aiming for a thickness of about 1/4 of an inch. It is important not to go thicker than that. If it is too thick, the center will fail to dry properly. Conversely, if it is too thin, the final product will simply crumble. A 1/4 inch thickness allows it to dry all the way through evenly every single time. I am using a spatula to smooth it flat, ensuring every part of the sheet is the same thickness so that the entire batch finishes drying at the exact same moment. Now it goes into the oven. The temperature is set to 122 degrees Fahrenheit, and it will stay there for 3 hours. Crucially, the oven door must be left cracked open. This open door policy is not optional. Our goal is to remove moisture from the paste. A closed door would trap the humidity inside the oven, resulting in you simply warming the paste rather than drying it. The open door allows the steam to escape continuously throughout the 3-hour window. The 3 hours are now up. Look at the result. We have a large, thin, and firm sheet that is hard to the touch. There are no soft spots and no moisture to be found anywhere. This is now completely dry. I want to demonstrate the many ways you can utilize this concentrate. First, let's look at chips. I am cutting a portion of this sheet into thin strips. At this moment, these are genuine meat chips. They contain no preservatives and no artificial ingredients of any kind. It is just beef, onion, and carrot, dried and concentrated. These chips are high in protein, contain natural fats, and have zero sugar, making them one of the most nutritious snacks you can possibly make at home. The second and primary use for this concentrate is broth cubes. I am cutting the remainder of the sheet into small squares, roughly 1 inch by 1 inch. Now we come to the storage secret. This is the part that most people get wrong, which is why their food often goes bad in 2 weeks instead of lasting 2 years. You must wrap each cube individually in aluminum foil. Wrap them tight with no gaps. Once wrapped, store them in a cool, dark, and dry place. This could be a pantry, a cabinet, or a cellar. You can also choose to keep them in a sealed glass jar. The combination of complete dryness, individual foil wrapping, and a dark storage environment is what grants you the full 2-year shelf life. By the way, this specific recipe comes from my survival cookbook. This book contains over 126 recipes for meals that can be stored without any refrigeration. These are recipes that actually work, have been rigorously tested, and are things you won't typically find on YouTube. The link to this resource is in the description below the video. I encourage you to click through and get this cookbook right now. I strongly recommend that every family maintains at least a 1-month supply of something like this. Prices can change overnight, and store shelves can empty in a matter of hours. This recipe takes only 1 afternoon to make and provides security for 2 years. Now let me demonstrate how this really works in practice. I am unwrapping one of these foil packages. Inside, you see 3 thin pieces cut directly from that large dried sheet. I drop them into a mug and pour boiling water over them. I give it a quick stir and then wait for just 1 minute. That is all it takes. There is no need for a stove, no pot to clean, and no preparation required. It is just boiling water in 60 seconds of time. Look at the color that has developed. It is a beautiful golden broth. The pieces have completely dissolved into the liquid, and the smell is incredible. Real beef, sweet onion, and just a hint of garlic. It smells as though it has been simmering on a stove for hours. So what exactly is in this cup right now? You are getting natural gelatin from the beef shank collagen, complete animal protein, and a range of B vitamins, including B12. It contains natural minerals sourced from the onions and carrots, along with iron and zinc from the beef. There is no MSG, no artificial colors, and no chemical thickeners involved. This is a real, hot, and nutritious meal ready in 60 seconds. This is not a supermarket bouillon cube. This is real food created with just 2 primary ingredients. Every cup you prepare from these cubes contains over 30 grams of complete animal protein. The natural gelatin from the collagen supports your joints, your gut health, and your immune function. You are also getting 66% of your daily requirement of B12, which is essential for the nervous system and blood health. Furthermore, this broth provides 59% of your daily selenium, which is one of your most powerful antioxidants. It offers 45% of your daily zinc for immune defense and recovery, along with iron, B6, and phosphorus for energy, red blood cells, and bone strength. You also benefit from quercetin from the onions, which acts as a natural anti-inflammatory, as well as vitamin C and folate for immune repair and cell growth. The beta-carotene from the carrots converts into vitamin A, which is critical for vision and immunity. There are no powders, no MSG, and no factory processing involved here. It is just beef, onion, and carrot concentrated into one small, portable cube. You spend 3 hours in the kitchen just one time, and you walk away with dozens of portions of real food that can sit on your shelf for 2 years. This is the ultimate preparation for any family looking to ensure their nutritional security. If this forgotten recipe has changed the way you think about food storage and survival nutrition, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. We are dedicated to uncovering the historical wisdom and essential skills that have been nearly lost to time. Join us as we unearth the secrets of the past to secure our future. Your support helps us continue this mission. The next treasure of knowledge will be revealed very soon.